Moses and McLean for the tip. It is controlled and won by Ball State as we get underway for the 102nd meeting between the Red Hawks and Cardinals.
And I think because of that fact, Weathers, well, they've switched off, so he now does have Taylor Persons.
Ball State averaging 77 a game. Taylor Persons 15 a game, but misses the day's first shot. And here comes Weathers. Michael Weathers, 18 points per game. He scored 20 in 5 of his first 7 collegiate games. Welcome to Division I, young fella. Haruna driving on Webbers. Shot clock down inside 10. Very patient Miami attack. And it gets a triple from Haruna, who knocked in 5 against Northern Illinois. A win in Miami's MAC opener.
Well, really good possession. As you said, very good patience for Miami, and Haruna definitely capable of knocking that one in.
Tipped ball will stay with the Cardinals. Unsettled, nearly got Persons a clean coast to the bucket. Pass just a little behind him as we get a look at John Cooper. One of the friendlier guys in this league. Love catching up with John Cooper every time Miami comes through.
No question about it. Super nice guy, good coach, good recruiter, and certainly gracious with his time with us before the game.
Former Tennessee State head coach down in the Ohio Valley Conference. And turnovers go both ways. James Whitford in his 4th season at Ball State. The Sean Miller disciple followed him from Xavier to Arizona and then back to the Midwest. James Whitford, an assistant, an administrative assistant, a graduate assistant. He was everything in Miami coming up through the coaching ranks back in the 90s.
A lot of relationships here, and you look at Jason Grunkemeyer, of course, a terrific player at Miami. And these coaching staffs know each other well and get along well.
Franco House's first touch for Ball State. Go-to player on offense, although not the leading scorer. And he draws early contact, put him at the line.
Well, Joe, you have to feel it's a conscientious effort to get the ball into Franco House. Yes, this team is capable of knocking down a lot of threes, but when you're not hitting them, and you've got 2 guys in House and Moses that are at the top of the league in field goal percentage, you can't forget about them down there on the block.
Foul on Rod Mills is his first. And House, nearly an 80% free throw shooter, which is a tremendous luxury down in the paint.
He's really upped that part of his game from last year.
Cardinals middle of the pack in the Mid-American Conference in free throw shooting. They get a couple out of House and back within a point here as Weathers streaks ahead. Has not taken a shot yet for Miami. And on cue, too strong off the glass.
That's his game. Loves to drive and slash and get to the rim.
Moses, a tremendous passer, averaging a double-double lately though, last 12 games. And he gets going early.
Well, no double team came. Trey waited for it. Very good patience. Nice little jump hook.
Used a lot of ball screens for Weathers. Cardinals did a good job to turn him away. McLean off the double clutch. Good tempo early. And a slam for Weber. Not something you see out of the senior that often.
Boy, the blow by on Rod Mills, and maybe that's what Ryan Weber needs to get him going. Just 2 points against Bowling Green.
Straight on 3 for Mills. That's where he gets his looks from deep, a pick and pop 4. Weathers left open. That's the brother Marcus. He is the younger by a couple of minutes, although the bigger by a couple of pounds. And Persons will go to the strike.
Well, that's the second time in 3 possessions. As you see Weber just the blow by and the flush. And last time it was Taylor Persons, Joe, getting all the way to the rim. Not a Miami defender there to stop the drive. So certainly that's something John Cooper wants to address with his ball club.
Foul on Marcus Weathers was his first, team's second. You know, Ryan Weber, we saw Ball State in St. Louis in their opener this year, and Weber, I think, had 2 dunks in that game. We remarked to him afterwards, when's the last time you dunked? Because we were curious. It had to have been a long time ago, and he just, sly smile, said, about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, Ryan Weber is a guy at Ball State needs to be more consistent. Had 0 points at North Florida, then 19 in the first half at Kent, and then just 2 against Bowling Green.
Back-to-back turnovers. It's a pair on each team.
And let's face it, that has been the Achilles heel of Ball State, Joel. In their 2 MAC losses, 18 turnovers a game. Way too many. You cannot win games turning it over that much.
Redhawks 2 for 5. And another turnover. Now make it 3 for Miami. Only had 12 turnovers in their loss to Toledo. As much as turnovers have been a problem for the Cardinals, not so much for the Redbirds.
Well, it hasn't, and that's been a point of emphasis with John Cooper. He talks to his team about 10 turnovers max. That's a tough goal to achieve, but that's the one he sets each time out.
Moses wants it in the post and loves the matchup on the smaller Weathers. And Haruna has the air ball. And that will stay with Ball State. Good job by Brooks Wells on the far side, asking for help.
And John Cooper's telling Mr. Wells, Mr. Haruna did not exactly fall out of bounds on his own volition there.
Cardinals will make a couple of substitutions. Weber and House go out with Kiapwe, so wholesale changes. Tajay Teague is in, Jeremy Tyler is in, 25 and 22 respectively in white.
James Whitford does this often before the first media timeout. By Franco House a little rest. Tajay Teague held scoreless against Bowling Green. First time all season that happened.
Sean Sellers at the top of the screen, also in off the bench. One of the most deadly three-point shooters, not just in this conference, but in the Midwest. And Abdoulaye Haruna fouls him 30 feet from the bucket because you cannot give him space. Ball State leads by 1. First 4-minute war in the books.